What's up, everybody? Jordan Carroll here again for another ChatGPT tutorial on how to use ChatGPT to find your dream job in less time. Today's tutorial is about LinkedIn. So, how to optimize your LinkedIn with ChatGPT, using it very efficiently and quickly. We're going to go through headlines, we're going to go through an about, we're going to talk about the different use cases for ChatGPT with LinkedIn. If you haven't watched the other tutorials I have on ChatGPT and your job search, you can find that playlist here. I've one's about resume, I have one's about cover letters, making more and more as we go along. So let's just dive right in. One of the first things that I try to consider as a career coach with my clients about LinkedIn is how are they leveraging keywords? Because LinkedIn is SEO searchable, SEO optimizable, meaning a recruiter searches for a keyword or searches for something like financial analyst, you will show up a certain way in the algorithm based on the way that that keyword is optimized in your profile. Are you using it in your about? Are you using it in your headline? Are you using it in your skills section? Are you using it in your experience? All these different types of things. So your ability to know what keywords are most important for you are going to be really, really crucial. I have an example of how you can do that here, and we're just going to walk through step by step. Hopefully this gives you some ideas. Again, everything that I do in these tutorials is to give you ideas. It's not to give you the only way that things can be done. And in fact, over time, the way that this tool is used will change, and the way that you use it will change based on your use case and based on your intelligence and what you ask it. So the first thing I asked was, hey, what are the main keywords used in a job description for a financial analyst in the hospitality industry? That is my example of financial analyst in the hospitality industry. And the reason being is that that will be a very specific set of keywords, set of phrases. You can also go in and give it job descriptions, like give it 2 or 3 job descriptions that are exactly what you're looking for, and say, hey, what are the top keywords and phrases used in these job descriptions? So if you don't have the job descriptions, that's fine. Those might work even better, but I just wanted to show you a route that you can take just without even having any job descriptions. So it's going to give me these keywords, say financial analyst, hospitality, budgeting, all this sort of stuff. And then what I tell it is, hey, based on this, please use this formula to create a LinkedIn headline using the top keywords. This formula is one of the ones that I recommend based on my experience with LinkedIn, based on my clients' experience with LinkedIn and what really works. I have a few different formulas. I also have a LinkedIn headline generator PDF, so you can feel free to find that in the description as well, and that will give you even more ideas. But yeah, so now it's going to give me kind of a very basic headline. Financial analyst, I help hospitality industry drive growth through financial planning analysis. That's okay. It's giving us some of this stuff, but it's weirdly caps case and not caps case. It's like missing, grammatical. It's got a grammatical mistake. I help hospitality industry. I help the hospitality industry. I help hospitality organizations, companies, that sort of thing. So I said, can you add an impressive metric with numbers? Now we have driving increased profitability for hospitality industry with 10% plus budget accuracy and forecast accuracy. So now we're getting a little bit closer to maybe something that we want. But again, this is just ideas. This is meant to get it off the ground, to get you thinking about what you could use. You're always going in and you're editing whatever ChatGPT gives you, because it's typically going to give you something that's not fully baked. Now I said, hey, can you create 10 different versions based on the one that I gave you? And now it's going to give me 10 different versions. And again, during the ideation phase of some of these things, during the brainstorming phase where you're really like, you're not sure exactly what you want, but you want to have some options to choose from, this can give you a bunch of options, which is then the feedback loop that sometimes your brain needs to be able to say, oh, well, I really like this one, and I like this part of this one, and I really like the way this one starts, so I'm going to combine these two, or I'm going to take a piece of this, and take a piece of that. And that's really where this gets interesting, is that a lot of that manual work that people had to do before, where they're thinking of all these things themselves, you save that critical thinking capacity for later when you've got all the brainstorming done. So that's really the key. And now I have these 10 different ones that I can look at. And now I'm saying, hey, can you create 10 another 10 versions with this format? And I give them a completely new format. And now I'm getting some additional stuff here. I help hospitality industry achieve financial stability through budgeting and forecasting, through financial modeling. So what my recommendation is find your X, Y, and Z, meaning the target market, the problem you solve, the mechanism for solving it. Find the keywords for what might be searched, whether that's a potential job role or keyword for SEO, it's the company type, or it's the key KPI, key performance indicator, or the mechanism by which you accomplish these results. These are just different ways to say this, but those are like the main things you want to figure out yourself first, and then give that to ChatGPT and make sure you're giving it accurate information. Make sure you're telling it what it is that you want from it. The more you can be clear about the format you want, about the keywords you want it to use, about the different things that are important to you, the better it's going to be. Excuse me. Okay. So now I've got these headlines. I can kind of mishmash these headlines. I can, use this as brainstorming fodder and come up with whatever I want my headline to be. Now, from there, let's create an about. And I have an about formula, a formula that I recommend that people use for an about. Of course, it's not the only way to do an about. LinkedIn about is one of the most subjective things that you can do on LinkedIn. So it's actually really hard for people to figure this one. So this is how I do it: is a hook, a summary statement, a story, specific numbers and achievements, social proof, something personal, and then a call to action. Like, that's kind of how I separate things. And there's examples of this. I will also leave in the description a link to get these prompts, which will include this entire about piece right here. So now in the hook here, it says, skilled navigating the steep terrain of financial analysis, I approach each challenge with a calculated, confident, and determined mindset, much like skiing down a mountain. So that's really interesting. What if you were really into skiing and also financial analysis? This could be a very interesting way to segue into a personal brand about your passion for skiing and about how that represents the financial analysis. And then it goes into experienced financial analyst with 5 years in the hospitality industry, proven track record of increasing these achievements. And then it has like a little story here. It has specific achievements like social proof. It has the personal touch. Like, this is really good. I was looking back through this. I was like, damn, like, this is such a good starting point. And it's not to say that this is how you would just plug it right into your LinkedIn profile from here, but you can use this format. You can use this as a template for your own thing, right? And again, if you're giving it the right information, you can get the right things out of this. The same thing can apply to experience. So if you go down to the experience section and you start to give it parts of your experience, you can have it write out those bullet points. You can have it do a lot of different things. These are the two main things I see mostly with LinkedIn profile: is the headline and the about section. These are the hardest things for people to come up with. So this gives you such a huge advantage. Make sure you take advantage of it. Watch the rest of the tutorials, which will be located up here, and keep wondering. You're not lost.